All right. Welcome, welcome. Um, Today's episode is I want to try another workshop style screen share demo type webinar. I feel like these are a bit more fun, a bit more actionable. I get to talk to you guys more and take your questions more throughout the webinar. So today's one's going to be a bit about AI tools, some cool ones, how you can use it for productivity and just kind of taking the load off, taking some of that thinking away, um, and to kind of just speed things up. You're entrepreneurs, you're agents. There's a lot of things going through your heads and a lot of things that you have to do. With the advent of AI, oh my God, anything's possible at this point. If you don't know what Chat GPT or anything is like that, you've probably been living under a rock. Um, I want to show you some cool stuff today and maybe a bonus one at the end as well. It's something that I use personally. Um, but yeah, feel free to drop any questions and stuff in the chat. You can raise your hand. We can just talk through stuff throughout this webinar. If you have any questions, I'll try and get to some ones that are um unique and engaging and hopefully helpful for people on the webinar. Anything that I don't get to, um, leave it in the chat anyway, and I'll make sure that I answer them in an email. The sound's not clear. Let me try something. Hold on. Can you hear me now? Everyone can hear me? Okay, perfect. Okay, good, good, good. Any if I cut out, just let me know and we'll bring the sound back. Okay, cool. Let me do a quick screen share. I'm gonna start right with ChatGPT. For you guys, for anyone that doesn't know what ChatGPT is, it's a text-based language model, an AI that you can use to basically use as your personal assistant for pretty much anything. Let me share my screen here. And I'm gonna go today as a persona. So I used to do real estate back in like sort of 2016, 2017. And when I moved over here from London, I came from the music business, right? And real estate was easy for me to fall into because the kind of the people and the world is almost the same. It's like working with musicians and athletes and stuff became naturally for real estate over here. So I already had a bit of a personal brand that I could leverage, right? I had friends and clients that I could jump in on, and I could get a bit of a head start with real estate and doing deals for a few friends of mine. But if I had something like ChatGPT back then, I could have saved so much time in getting my website up and running, getting my bio up and running, getting some emails and text sequences drummed up for me. So I didn't have to think about all that stuff. Because back then I did it all myself. Like we had CRMs, we had Follow Up Boss and tools like that have tried and tested nurture sequences that you can implement and you can just click a button and it all comes in. The problem is they're not really tuned to you, to your brand, to your tone of voice. And so you end up spending time anyway, going through all these types of sequences and templates and trying to make them your own, right? Something that's unique to you, something that sounds like you, something that you would say. Um, and so ChatGPT, I use this every day for my work, right? As a product marketing manager here at Luxury Presence. But from a real estate agent's perspective, this is fantastic. But we need to prime it. We need to give it context. Whatever you put in, the better input, the better output. And this works if you give it some things to latch onto and give it some context on what you're trying to do. Like there's no point jumping in here and saying something like, write me a 1,000 word blog post, and you give it a bit of a topic. It will give you something. It's just not gonna be what you want, and you're gonna have to spend some more time kind of tweaking it anyway. So if you look at what I've done here, right, I've given it a bit of a prompt. I just kind of loaded this up. I told it a little bit about me. I grew up in England, spent what time working in the music and the entertainment world, moved to LA, 37 years old, married with two kids and a dog. I buy and sell homes for people like me and to people in the music and entertainment world and industry adjacent people. So tech, lawyers, anyone, athletes, like related to that kind of world. Um, and my personal brand and tone of voice are light-hearted and approachable. So I've given it some context, right? And this is going to serve as the foundation for what we do today. I want to show you a bunch of tools, and we're always going to go keep coming back to ChatGPT. We're going to keep asking it questions. And you can even tell me if you want me to ask it something specific or test an output that, you might want to try. We can do it right now live. So here's what I would do with something like this, right? If we're coming from a lead nurture perspective, if you think, right, oh, I'm gonna give my personal story of how I did this, right? So I came to LA. I didn't know anyone. I knew people in the music business, but I don't know anything about real estate, or I didn't know any other agents or even people locally to me. Like I had music industry friends in the city, but I don't live in the city. I live out of the city and I do work out of the city too. So I needed to find a way to, one, get my website up and running, and I needed to write a bio. Like a bio was a basic thing for my website, right? So I jumped into, well, back then I had to write it, but like something like this, I'll jump into ChatGPT. I gave it some context, right? Now, let's say I want to give it a little prompt. Say I need to write a short bio for my website. Keep it to 500 words. Now, hopefully, it'll give me something that's it's not going to be fully what I want, right? Melodic touch, that's interesting. Um, it's not going to be fully what I want, but it's important to know that whatever output ChatGPT gives you, you're going to have to jump in and kind of tweak it anyway. It's going to get you 80, 90% of the way there, but you're going to have to jump in, you're going to have to tweak it and make sure there's no inaccuracies. It sounds like something that you would say, but I'm not going to go through all of that in this session. But look, it's giving me something, it's breaking it up, it's writing it grammatically correct. Like it's this something like this would have taken me hours to do, right? Um, and this is now serving the foundation for my website. So from a lead nurture perspective, right, we're getting what we want to do is we want to set up the foundations and screen is blurry. Really? Hold on. Okay, it might be an internet thing. Only when typing. All right, cool. No worries. Um, and so okay, so from a lead nurture perspective, you want to make sure that your brand and your personal story is something that people can latch onto, right? It's not as easy as just kind of running some ads and getting some leads through the door. Like we still need a way for people to get attracted to you as a person, to understand what you do, your background, where you came from. Like from this real estate is for most people the biggest purchase or biggest deal that they'll ever do in their whole lives, right? So they need to like you, they need to trust you, and you need to be able to get your brand out in a way that's consistent and just ongoing and across multiple channels. Um, so from a lead nurture perspective, when you have a brand set up, you have a brand new website, um, bio is going to be the first thing that you want to chuck into ChatGPT and let it give you something that is worthy of putting out onto your website. It's going to set up the foundation, and I can take this now and I can use every time I put something into this chat, it's going to learn from everything that I'm giving it. So I've given it some context, it's given me a bio back, and now anything else that we put in towards it, like let's say I wanted some color, like a color theme for my website that I can now translate to social media or anything across my marketing. I'm gonna ask. I like the color yellow. I like the color yellow. Give me um a color theme that I can use for my marketing and social media. And hopefully it's gonna give me. Actually, you know what I want to ask it? Hex codes. Let's see if it gives me them. Okay, it's giving me some colors. Um, I'm going to I'm going to ask it if it can give me hex codes. And what hex codes are, they're codes that you can throw into marketing tools like Canva or anywhere. that so you can get the exact color that you want. There's so you copy and paste the hashtags, and then you can put these into Canva, right? So here's what I'll do. First thing, once I've got a website up and running, I want to get leads in, set up some ads, right? And I want to make sure that I can get a consistent um, look and feel across all of my channels. So let me show you something cool in Canva. Canva's just released, well, it's been out for a little while, but they've got great AI tools, and they work with a tool called Stable Diffusion. There's a couple of image generators out in the world, and you've got Stable Diffusion is one of them. Midjourney is another one. Midjourney is, if you Google it, it's probably leading the way in the terms of the most accurate image generation that you can get. Like some of the stuff is very, very detailed. It's a bit hard to show you guys today on how to use it because it's not really a tool that's like a website. You have to download Discord and do it that way. But we have a internal guide. I'll share it with you after this webinar so you can learn more about how to use Midjourney to generate images for you. So the way we could use something like that is if you're on Instagram, if you're trying to post more content and more pictures, um, short of you going out and taking pictures yourself, you can generate images, designs, graphics that fit closer to your brand and kind of things that you're interested in. And try and fill out a lot of the marketing. So you can use a lot of that images on your website. You can use it on your social media. I'm going to give you an idea right now using Canva and ChatGPT to fill out your Instagram with stuff that you're interested in. So me personally, right, let's on the left-hand side, there's a thing here called Magic Studio. I'm gonna click on that. And there's a few things that I could do. We're gonna try this magic design where you can generate images. And I'm gonna just go to Instagram post right here. We're gonna just start a blank one. Now, on the left-hand side here, if you go all the way to the bottom, you'll see Magic Media. If you click on that, there's a there's a box here, and it tells you that you can put in some words and you can describe what you want it to output, and it will give you an image based on what you're putting out. But here's what I want to do first. I want to go back to ChatGPT, and I wanted to ask it for some ideas. I want to say, um, I need some picture ideas for Instagram. I like uh, minimal interior design. I like earthy tones and textures. Give me some short descriptions and ideas. Let's see what it gives me. So I want to copy and paste some of this and put it into Canva and use some of that to generate some images. So let's just take this top one, sleek living room corner. Let's copy and paste that. Let's go back to Canva. I'm just going to paste it into this box. Generate image. I'm going to give a few seconds to do it. I'm using the paid version of ChatGPT, and this is the paid version of Canva. I just started a trial, um, but ChatGPT is like $20 a month. I highly recommend it, even if it's just that. If it's something that you're going to use every single day, it's worth doing. The output that you get from ChatGPT on the paid version, ChatGPT 4, is quite a bit better than the 3.5 free version. Um, I don't know if this Magic Media, I think it is a pro. Yeah, it's got a little crown on it. It is a pro feature, but it's worth doing if you need something to help fill out or help generate more content. If you want to, regularly post up on Instagram and any other social media that is more visual based. I'm showing Canva here because there's a lot of stuff you can do with this in this one tool rather than going to a bunch of different places. And I want to show you a couple here. So I gave it a prompt and it's given me a little living room idea. I'm going to put one into okay. So it's given me something that's almost almost what I'd want, right? But there's some weirdness about it. Can you see like this random lamp that doesn't have a stand, or like there's something just not quite right about it, right? And the benefit of Canva is, and the multiple tools that it has a couple other AI tools that can really help tidy this image up. So I want to use, let's just, let's just use this one actually. This one's a little bit better, a little bit more minimal. But um, let's say I didn't want this, you know, plant pot or wherever this thing is. I edit photo, and it's got a thing here called Magic Eraser. It's just a brush. You can change the brush size. But what I want to do is I want to just brush out this thing here. Just get rid of it. Let's see if it gets rid of it. You just try it a couple more times. The reason why I'm showing you guys Canva right now is you still need to be active on social media to to show people where you're at in the current kind of in your current state, like beyond just your website and beyond uh people that you're meeting in person. You want to show that you're active, that you're doing things, um, and you're kind of putting out your brand and your personality and meeting people in the present. Thing with websites and the thing with um things that are a bit more polished is you're kind of putting out the best version of yourself, which is understandable, but it's not continuously getting refreshed, and it's not something that meets gets people to know you more personally. Instagram, social media, you know how it works, you know why it's important, but what this is allowing you to do is to output things that are more things more that you're interested in, right? You can go out and you can take pictures of food and lifestyle things alongside your real estate and your listings. And if you have enough content to put out on social media, great. Most people don't. They don't have the time to, even if they take a picture um to do the little bit of extra work needed to post it up on Instagram. Something like this, you can if you have a marketing person or you have an assistant that understands your brand and your tone of voice and the things that you're interested in, they could come in here and they could generate images, get some ideas from ChatGPT, generate some images in Canva, spend, a couple hours just generating 100 pictures. Now you've got content for weeks and weeks, maybe even months. You can always repurpose content, and it keeps your feed aesthetic, it keeps it natural. But more importantly, when people come to your feed and people that don't know you, and they get to know you, they'll instantly kind of get a vibe for what you're about, and your personality. If your face and everything is in your social media feed as well, they get to know you a bit more personally, and it all leads to that nurturing for leads when they're gonna Google you anyway, and they're gonna start, looking for agents in your area. They're gonna land on your Instagram. They're gonna find your channels and your marketing channels, and you want to make sure that across the board is consistent and you're putting out the best version of yourself. This is just an easy way to kind of get things done and generate some cool stuff, all in one platform. So look, I've used a couple tools here to just generate an image and delete something. Let me go back to ChatGPT, see what it gave me. A tranquil bedroom setting. Let's try this one. Let's just chuck this in here. Let's go back to Magic Media, paste it into this box, generate it again. It's going to give me 4 images. I'm just going to pick my favorite one. Let's delete this for a second. Fairly accurate. And they're fairly realistic too. I mean, you're not going to be able to, when you start looking into these images, yeah, people are going to be able to tell that it's AI, but like, look, something like this is a bit random, but you can delete that with the edit photo, magic eraser, get rid of it. And then you've got a strong piece of content that you can post on Instagram, and it's taken me minutes. Yeah, you do that a couple of times to just get rid of that. And so this is for content, right? we go back to ChatGPT and we ask it, let's see, oops. We go back to ChatGPT and we ask it something that we need to do to fill out some of that Instagram profile. So if we needed let's say a bio, give me a short Instagram bio. It's gonna give me something that I can put to Instagram, and I can use some of this. I can want to tweak it, but I can use some of this to put into Instagram, and just it's that saved me time too. Like I'm not gonna sit there and come up with this by myself. Um, Here I'm gonna try another little tool as well. You guys have heard of virtual staging AI. This one's incredible. I gave it an image. So, okay, let me set the context. You've got a new listing. Um, it might be empty. It doesn't have any furniture in it. You want to do some staging. Um, the staging AI tools that were out in the world in the past um, didn't have didn't have the accuracy or the realism that's needed right now in kind of putting out good quality content and putting out good pictures. I gave this an image of a living room here. You can't really let me try and zoom in a little bit more. Here, I gave this an image and it already had furniture in it. With one button, I got rid of it. I got rid of all the furniture and it gave me this image here, completely empty. Got rid of all the furniture that was in the room. And it even gave me different versions of staging that I could use for my image. But the real cool thing is, like, say if I go into try another photo and I dropped in an image of an empty room in a new listing. Let's try this. I'm going to give it an option here, process photo. It's going to add some furniture for me. And you can use some of this in your listings. It says 10 seconds. It usually gives me an image in about 30 seconds. Let's see what it gives us. It's taking a little bit longer than I thought it would be. Couple more seconds. See if they didn't catch up. Yeah, I'm not going to go into Aaron. I'm not going to go into any advanced AI stuff in this webinar because um, we can go down a rabbit hole with a lot of this stuff. I'm just going to show you some cool tools that we found that have kind of been helping agents along the way and helping them with their lead nurture and productivity. So something like this, for example, this is more where it's a tool that we could use that agents have they want to be able to stage their properties or they want to be able to put some furniture in their homes to show a vision of what it could be like with the room and with the furniture in it. And these are tools that they weren't here a year ago. So something like this, for example, this staging is fairly accurate. You can put this into your listing alongside an empty room and give people a bit more of a vibe to see what it's like to live in that house with the furniture in it without stepping foot into the house. Um, let's see if you could do another photo here. Let's actually leave that photo. I want to show you something else. Um, let's go back to ChatGPT. Actually, hold on a second. Let's go through some of these questions here. $12 for 6 photos. Photographers, yeah, that's well, there you go. This tool is an expensive tool. I'm not gonna lie. If you go to the pricing here, you know, $20 a month or $40 a month, it spits out 100 photos for $40 a month. But the problem is, if you're trying to get productive or if you want to save some money and you want to have a bit more control and save some time, a tool like this is invaluable. It's a cost worth putting into because um, you'll be able to stage pictures and you'll be able to stage listings without hiring somebody, without spending the time to go there, without talking to staging companies and bringing furniture in. It's a tool that just gives people, everyone's going to go online. They're going to do their research and they're not going to step foot into a house unless they really want to. It allows for a bit more of that nurture aspect. We're like, okay, look, it's an empty house. I'm going to show you what it's like with furniture in it. And this tool will do that for you easily and quickly. Um, $200 for virtual staging. What tool were you using, Lauren? Was that you were paying for a photographer? Yeah, that's crazy. Yep. So I mean, this is a cost saving thing. When you think of how much money you're saving in the long run, it's incredible. Yep. I'm going to show you another tool. So let's say I went back into ChatGPT, right? And I asked somebody like uh actually, forget ChatGPT for a second. I'm going to show you this thing called Opus Clip. You have a video. Let's say you have a podcast that you've done with another colleague or somebody, a local business that both of you are trying to kind of get ahead. Podcasts are a great way for you to kind of put out long form content that can be used in multiple different places. So let's say we wanted to come up with blog posts or any social media content from one piece of content, right? A podcast or a video podcast is fantastic because you can jump in, you can record something in about an hour with, another business owner or another real estate agent or even another client or a past client that you've done business with. You sit down, you have a chat, you've got a long form piece of content, video and audio. From that, you can use that now to transcribe into a blog post, or you could chop up into little social media clips. And this tool here, Opus, is another tool that you could use to take that video content, that long form video content, and plug it into a tool like this. And with one click, it can chop up that content and put captions on it. And you can use that in your Instagram and your YouTube and social media. It's more for short form content, so more like TikTok and Instagram. So I'm going to give you an example of one here. I basically took one of our podcasts from YouTube and I just dragged it into this tool, and it gave me this. This is a podcast that Malti, our CEO, did with another real estate agent of ours, and it's given me a bunch of clips. It did this in about 15 minutes. That's why I've loaded it up now. It gave me a bunch of clips that I could use, complete with captions and something social media ready that you can jump in. And it's even given it a score. If it's got a good hook, if it's got a good flow, engagement. Like this clip, for example, got 97 out of 100. Let me just play a little bit of it.
Going to piggyback off that question as well. And I think people are constantly saying, real estate agents, especially in the luxury market or non-luxury market, they're going to be obsolete in 10 years. Everything's going to be automated. Everything's going to be through a computer. That is the complete opposite. I think that the human is going to be actually more important than ever before. We are
Okay. This clip, I didn't edit it. I didn't do anything. I literally just dragged that video into YouTube and it's it's picked out the face. It's chosen the right aspect ratio and the right framing of the person that's talking. It's put the captions in and it's given me a score and it's given me a transcript and something that I can just download or share immediately to social media. This is another tool that's easy to use, right? But if you guys know anything about video editing or how long it would take to come up with a clip like this, then you'll understand the power of a tool like this. If you're proficient in video editing and you know what you're looking for, this could take you you know half an hour to create a bunch of clips and put some captions on it. But this tool's done it in a matter of, well, for me, it's 15 minutes and I didn't have to do any work. I just dragged the video in, clicked convert, and it just started doing it. And it sent me an email when it was ready. Um, I'm going to show you a tool that I use though called Descript. And this is another AI editing tool that I highly recommend. It's a video editor, but let me show you what we can do with it. This is Descript. It's a AI powered, AI enhanced video editor. The best way to use something like this is for voiceover content, I feel. A lot of agents that want to come up with video content um, don't really want to put their face in front of the camera for some reason. Maybe it's just like, either they're shy or just they've never been in front of the camera before. Um, Voiceovers are another way to kind of get your personality and your brand out, but it without putting your face on it if you didn't want to put your face on the clip. So a powerful tool for social media, and especially things like TikTok and the short form reels are property tours. So property tours are fairly easy for people to do. You got a new listing, um, put your phone up and you start walking through the house, right? Now picture a fast zoomed property tour. You've seen them on TikTok, right? If you just type in house tour or TikTok on Instagram, they're the ones that kind of go quickly from room to room. You've got 15 seconds, maybe up to a minute to kind of capture somebody's attention. And there's no sound. So you can film this thing. You don't have to worry about editing it or anything like that at this point. You're just going through the house and you're filming it. You've got a bit of content on your phone. Um, I'm gonna drag a demo of a video into this. So I just downloaded one from TikTok. I'm gonna drag this into the tool here. It's gonna add the file. And when I mean the kind of video I'm talking about, I'm gonna do a quick play here so you can see. Right? So you can understand the kind of style that I'm going for here. Now, I recorded a voiceover a little bit earlier on my phone. No special mic, nothing. This tool is the fastest tool I've ever seen that transcribes a video to words. There's loads of services out there where you can send a video in and it will spit out in about an hour or so. Either other people are doing it or it's a tool, and it'll give you a transcript of your video back that you can now use to maybe form a blog post or other pieces of written content for SEO purposes on your website. I would just recommend chucking it into here. So I'm gonna grab a voiceover that I did earlier. Let's do. I'm just gonna drag this into the file. Actually, I'm gonna drag it over the image, over the video. Wait, did I do that right? No. Let's drag this into here. Okay, so it's analyzing it. I'm gonna give it a speaker name myself, and it's transcribing it, and it's gonna do it in literally seconds. Look, 50% done already. Let's see how quickly it does it. 100%. I think that was about 10 seconds. I'm not too sure. So this is me just giving a quick property tour. I recorded this on my phone, by
Let me
the
show
way.
you around this beautiful home. Here's a state-of-the-art kitchen. Picture yourself hosting weekend brunches here. That smell of fresh coffee filling the air.
Now,
What about
the point I'm trying to make here is that I recorded this on my phone, right? No special mic. I recorded it at this desk. There's a road next to me. There's fire engines and cars going past regularly. Like it's loud. But I recorded it on my phone and it's not clear. You could hear from the voice there, it's not clear. The benefit of this tool now is you can highlight it and use one of their AI effects tools. So you come to the right here, there's a thing here called Studio Sound. This toggle is a game changer. Click that. It's going to take a few seconds to edit the sound. But what it's going to do is going to take all of that background junk away and it's going to compress your voice so it sounds a bit more radio-like, a bit more something that I'm using with a mic right now. It's going to give you a bit more of a cleaner recording that you can use. So you don't have to go out and buy a mic or anything special. You can record on your phone and use this tool to touch it up. So let's see what it's done. Like it's already added the effect. I'm going to go back and just play it and let's see how clean it is.
Let me show you around this beautiful home. Here's a state-of-the-art kitchen. Picture yourself hosting weekend brunches here. That smell of fresh coffee filling the air.
Much better.
What about the
And there's a few other things I like to do just to make it a little bit more cleaner. Um, let's go to compressor, right? You can add a classic voiceover compressor. That's a good compression preset that you can use to kind of give a bit more depth to your voice. Um, Add in a limiter so you don't get any of the high peaks in your voice. And then these three settings, that's it. You've got yourself now. You can turn it down. If it's sounding a bit too computerized, you can turn it down. Let's bring it down, 85%. And now you've got a clean recording, a clean voiceover recording you can put on anything, any piece of video
Let me show you
content
around this beautiful
that
home. Here's a state-of-the-art kitchen.
that you want to use.
Picture yourself hosting weekend brunch.
And the other cool thing that this does, if I highlight this, I can get rid of, we know that you've got about 15 seconds to capture somebody's attention. You want fast, quick, snappy content on social media. We go to actions here. You can remove filler words like ums and ahs and random kind of random words that or parts of your script that you just don't want in the clip. This one's got, I've put here. It's something you can just get rid of it. Um, or even you can remove word gaps and make things even more punchy and even more faster. Let's try shorten word gaps. It's picked out a few where you can see here in the timeline where the gaps are in my voiceover. With one button, I can get rid of it all. And the power of this is if you know anything about video editing, you would have to do this manually. You have to come in, you have to select where you want to cut, move to the next one, select where you want to cut and delete it. I'm going to shorten all of these and get it in like that.
Let me show you around this beautiful home. Here's a state-of-the-art kitchen. Picture yourself hosting weekend brunches here that smell of fresh coffee.
2 clicks. That's giving me that. Now, if I want captions, highlight that. Let's drop some captions in. It's giving me captions.
Let me show you around this beautiful home. Here's a state-of-the-art kitchen. Picture yourself hosting weekend brunches here that smell of fresh coffee filling the air.
This edit has taken me a couple of minutes. Without a tool like this, you would have to use something like Final Cut Pro or any other video, Adobe Premiere, video editing software that required you to kind of import the video and do all of these minor edits yourself. Within a matter of minutes, I've got myself a transcript. I've got myself a succinct and short video that I can use on Instagram. I could even do stuff like this. Let's say barbecues, right? I want to replace this with a different word. I don't want to say barbecues anymore. I want to say parties. It's going to take my voice and just change the word for me. And it's going to use AI to take my voice. It's going to sound slightly like me, it's not going to be 100%, but people aren't going to notice in social media. So if you go if you have a voiceover and you don't want to record the whole thing again, you can come in and change parts of your script and let's see what it's giving me here. I've changed barbecues to parties.
Private oasis. Host summer parties or dive into your own pool on those hot days.
Okay, so you can tell it was a little bit robotic, but people aren't going to notice on social media. These are 3 or 4 different time-saving things that I've used on Descript that would just take so long in any other software, any other tool. Um, Great for social media, great for kind of putting out content and getting it social media ready. And these are the kind of content pieces that you're going to need to churn out regularly just to make sure that you're staying in front of people, you're staying fresh. And I can take something like this too, and I can expand on it in ChatGPT, turn it into a blog post or something like that. I'm going to show you another bonus tool, and it's called My Mind. Now, from a productivity standpoint, I think this one's a game changer. Let me share my screen. Um, Let me share my screen. Here we go. Okay, this one's called My Mind. Now, it's a notes app. It's a slightly different take on a notes app. Think of Pinterest. Um, so Pinterest is visual. You got thumbnails, right? Something like this. But we know as agents, as entrepreneurs, there's a lot of stuff in your head. There's a lot of um, screenshots and just random notes and business cards and pictures of random things in houses and listings that you just need to keep a hold of. This tool allows you to throw everything into it as a dumping ground. So imagine, so you've all used Notes app. You've used Apple Notes. You've used Bear and Asana and random other notes tools. Everyone used millions of them. The benefit of something like this is it's personal to you. There's no ads. There's no collaboration features. It's a dumping ground for you to put something in and, more importantly, resurface if you need to. I'm going to give you a quick demo of how this tool works. So let's open up a few things. Let's go to Crate and Barrel. Um, let's go to an article, Hollywood Reporter. Um, let's go to somewhere where I can buy shoes, maybe. Okay. This tool, let's say we go to somewhere like this, right? Crate and Barrel, and you pick a chair. I'm just going to give you a quick overview of something of how this works. Say I like this plant pot. I can just click this button here, stay in my flow, and keep going. I'm going to go to articles. I'm going to highlight something. Let's say I'm doing a bit of research for something, or you read an article on Inman and you wanted to save a bit of insight that you really liked. Highlight it, click add to my mind, it's in. If I wanted to read the article without all the ads or anything, you just click it, let it go. You're still in your flow. I haven't done anything. If I wanted to save something like, you know, uh, let's just pick something, this jacket, click it into my mind. And we go back into my mind and you'll see how everything's laid out. It's laid everything out in a visual way. You've got your article here to read. You've got a highlight that links back to the original article. And it's all recognized everything. It's recognized that this is a product. It's recognized that this is an article. This is a highlight. Now imagine for a real estate agent, let's say if we wanted to, we have a new listing coming up and it's called, 123 Main Street. I can come in here and create a new space. 123 Main Street, right? Pick a color, any color. Now you have a space and a dumping ground to just throw things into. If I go back to the main pop section here, and let's say all of this stuff was things to do with a listing. So pictures or any past like documents or scans or contacts or text messages, screenshots. I can add all of this to this space and just move on. This has now become a sort of catch-all for anything related to that listing. I can come in here, I can create a note if I wanted to. If I wanted to start working on um, a property description, right? It operates just like a normal notes app. And you can start typing and use ChatGPT to come up with a description, give it some context, and you can throw a property description into it and add this into the space. Now, why this is beneficial is it kind of it takes away any organization. You don't have to you don't have to tag anything, you don't have to put anything in folders. This is folderless. If I go into something like this jack or this plant pot, I didn't add any of these tags. It's tagged everything for me. It's recognized that it's a product. It's given me some tags. It's recognized it's from Crate and Barrel. It's given me a TLDR of what the thing is. There's a section here we can add more context if you want. If you wanted to write something, what it's for. Um, this is a tool it's exactly how your mind works. But the main thing is once everything's in here and it's a dumping ground and you haven't organized anything, the, the benefit of this tool is how quickly you can find something if you're looking for it. So I don't know, let's just type in black. It's giving me everything that I've saved that has black in it or the word black. It will read uh, handwritten notes. It will analyze what's in the image and pull out things from it. So I don't know, let's say chair. You'll find stuff that's got chairs in it. House. Let's see what comes up with house. I've saved a couple links from Zillow. It's recognized that it's from Zillow. It's categorized. It's brought up information that um, we could use. And the way it works is just and anything that you can think of that's remotely connected to what you're searching for, a color or a word, um, you know, anything that you don't have to put in the exact words. You can just type in random things and it'll find it for you. If you do like organizing and you like folders, that's what these spaces and things are for. And let's say you had you're working on a description and you wanted to keep it top of mind, you drag it to the top, and this is top of mind. It's on a little shelf here for you, ready to use. Um, this is the first place that I go to get some inspiration, anything that's resonated with me. Um, anything that an idea that I'm trying to flesh out. This is the first place I go. This is my personal resonance board, my personal Pinterest, and it could serve as your dumping ground and your main point of inspiration for anything in your business too. From a real estate perspective, I think would be great to kind of you can put all your listings here, and you can just dump in anything to do with this listing, and use it as a place that you can come back to and know that nothing's lost, no information, um, no no minute bits of detail. Everything's in here that you need, and you can come here and pull it out and put it into wherever you need to for the future. Um, this is a secret weapon. I love this thing. It's even got a cool feature called serendipity, where things that you don't need anymore, you can forget it. You can keep it. There's sound here that is incredibly soothing. I use it to put my kids to kids to sleep almost. It's a fantastic tool, AI based, AI enhanced. Um, it's a great tool to use. I highly recommend it. We've got a few minutes left. I want to go through some questions and see if we can answer anything for you guys. Anybody want to come up and talk or just drop anything in the chat? The last app, Lauren, was called My Mind. Um, My Mind, yeah, all one word. If you go to mymind.com, this is what it looks like. It's their tagline: remember everything, organize nothing. Fantastic. It's not free. The reason why it's a paid app is because they're a very small team. They're not their whole focus is to do with privacy. They have a manifesto here. All of this stuff is completely different to any other app that's out there. No ads, no collaboration, no social pressure. It's meant to just be just like your mind, a dumping ground, something that you can just chuck in anything that you're thinking of. Screenshots is the best use case. Like we all save screenshots on our phone. It reads the text in the screenshots. It analyzes the images in the screenshots. You can just screenshot it, chuck it in here, and type in keywords to find it. Are there any proprietary restrictions when using these AI apps? What do you mean by that, Eric? You mean like if ChatGPT gives me some words to use for a blog post, can I put it out onto my website or the generated images? Yeah. So let's take a blog post, for example. You don't want to spit out a blog post from ChatGPT and just copy and paste it and put it on your website. Google will penalize you for it. They will recognize that it's AI generated content. They're trying to stop all of that. They want to be able to provide value. They want to make sure that your website and the content that you put out provides value to people. So the way I recommend using a tool like that is let it do the heavy lifting of generating the blog post, but then you jump in there and you tweak it. You make sure that you apply your expertise to it, put your tone of voice on it, just polish it up a little bit, and then put it onto the website, and then you should be fine. Especially with the images generated from Canva and stuff like that. Those image generators, they're all completely fine to use, and you get away from the copyright, like from repurposing other people's content where you take their pictures and you tag them. It's not the best way of doing things. There's usually people that come out and say, please don't use my picture. It's a good way to kind of generate your own content and use that for your social media to keep your social media fresh. What else we got here? Any questions on this script? Oh, will you be previewing Luxury Presence' new AI tool? Um, I don't have it loaded up here, but we do have a tool that we've just announced a couple of days ago. It's called AI Lead Nurture. Um, I highly recommend checking it out. Let me give you a bit of context on what it is. So let's say you've got a brand new website, right? We know that success is generating as many leads as possible once your website's live, and we want those leads to be as high quality as possible, right? That's the first part of the problem of how do we get leads and how do we get them quickly? So most of the time, that's you have to run some ads, especially if you have a brand new website, right? Um, you don't have much SEO or domain authority. There's not much traffic coming to your site. So you're going to have to run some ads to get some eyes on your site and to get some leads. But let's say you get to a point where you're getting a lot of leads. You're getting 10 plus high quality leads a month minimum. Let's say you're getting thousands of organic traffic and you're getting loads of leads and you don't know what to do. No one in their right mind can sit there and text and call all these leads. You're never going to find time to do anything else in your business. What AI lead nurture does for you is it uses AI to start that nurture process so you don't have to. It's speed to lead. It's basically the lead comes in and they get a text straight away. And this AI is human-like. It even has typos. It's very hard to distinguish that you're not talking to a real person. It presents itself as an assistant to you and your team, and it starts having that conversation with that lead. You haven't done anything at this point. It's just the leads come in, it's picked it up, and it started talking to you, to the lead for you. So you can carry on and do whatever else you need to do for your business. Now, when that lead's ready to have a real conversation with you or another agent, like the AI will take it as far as it can, to the point where it will collect while it's talking to the lead, it will collect information like their time frame, if they're looking to buy a house, where they're looking, their budget, are they pre-qualified? Lots of like qualifying questions that you would have to spend time doing yourself. It will gather all that information. When it gets to a point where it can't take the conversation any further, that's when it will notify you with a text and an email saying, "Hey, look, I've got a lead. They're ready to talk to somebody." And at that point, you'll get that notification. And if it's got a phone number and an email, you can start talking to that lead straight away, or just click in on the button, and it will take you back to the presence platform where you can see the full conversation that the AI had with the lead and the details that it collected. So you get a bit of a fuller picture of how that conversation went, and then you can go into that conversation with the lead a bit more prepared. Um, the response rate for this tool is something like 57%. It's above 50%, where more than half of the people half the leads end up having conversations with this AI, and with an average of 25 touch points. So you're gonna get a lot of imagine 10 leads that this AI is talking to. Those are 10 leads that you don't have to sit there and nurture and qualify. It's doing it for you, and it's getting that lead ready for a warm conversation, a warm handoff with you, so you can have a productive conversation with somebody that's looking to do something. This tool's called AI Lead Nurture. It's something that we've just released. I'll put everything in the email, follow-up email for this, so you can explore further and talk to some of our team and see if it's a good fit for you. Um, Honestly, if you're getting 10 plus leads a month and you're running ads, this is a no-brainer. This is a tool that you should just turn on and let it do the work for you. Save you a bunch of time. Um, and then the conversations that you're having with leads are real conversations, they're warm conversations, and it gets rid of that problem that a lot of agents face of like, I'm getting loads of leads, but they're not good quality. They're not high quality enough. The reality is they haven't been nurtured to a point to have that conversation. So it's a time saving benefit, and it's something definitely worth exploring. Um, got a couple more minutes here. Is there anything else we can talk about? Terry, ads only on Google Ads? Um, do you mean, is it only worth running Google Ads? Uh, okay. Yeah, I mean, for ads, Google Ads are always, I would say Google Ads is a good place to start because the intent is usually a bit higher. You might have to put in up a little bit of a higher budget on Google, but the intent is higher, meaning that, people are searching for something, they're looking to buy or sell a house. So when they come across your ad, they're already a little bit warmer versus running an ad on, say, Facebook or Instagram. The people on that is usually cheaper, but the kind of lead is further up the funnel, meaning that they might not be looking to buy or sell a house, they're just scrolling, and then your ads kind of interrupted them. It's You'll get more leads that way, but they're not going to be high quality leads. Maybe, one out of 100 might be something worth having a conversation with, versus Google ads. You can spend a little bit more money up front, and you can figure out what works and what kind of ad copy works for Google for you. You can do a bit of that testing up front, but generally you'll get higher quality leads on Google. And Google are actually releasing a thing now where it will take the content on your website and using AI and AI enhancement to kind of create responsive ads on your behalf. So you don't have to jump in and create different types of ads. It will just do it for you, and it'll run the test for you. Um, does AI lead nurture have access to MLS data? No, it doesn't. It's not connected to any MLS, so it's not gonna if the lead, for example, starts asking lots of questions about a certain property, the AI will recognize that, and it will say, "Hey, let me connect you with someone who can give you some more details," and then you'll get that notification. Then you can start having that conversation. It's not connected to MLS though, so it's not going to do any detailed conversations to do with properties. How does luxury presence get leads with the higher package? It's the higher packages are more based around um, more advanced SEO and then ads, and then you get the AI lead nurture package with the new pricing too. You're going to be able to get that AI lead nurture as part of your plan. Yes, primarily Google ads. I think we do run Facebook and Instagram ads too, but Google ads is our main bread and butter. It's the ones that we've seen the best results from with our testing and the ads that we run. We've got a few different campaigns that are tried and tested that have been working well across the board. It's something that you can have confidence in, kind of letting it run, do its thing. The leads are coming in, and then if you have AI lead nurture as part of your package too, that's the second part of the equation where like that your leads are getting nurtured, and then all you have to do is wait for that notification to come in that a lead's ready to have a conversation. Does this new AI lead nurture filter out spam leads? Yep, yeah, that's the whole point of it. It'll it'll have conversations with people that are real. If the phone number is real and the text is getting responded back to and is having a conversation, then that number is real. If it's a fake number, for example, or if the lead just isn't texting, after a few attempts, it's not going to continue to text that lead. It might come back a month or two later and try again. But the whole point of the tool is to uh, work through all the leads for you to identify which ones are worth having a conversation with. Um, how can I reach out to you directly? Do you sell the packages? Not me personally, but just reach out to our sales team, and I'll make sure I put the contacts in the email to you as well for the follow up. Anyone just reach out to our sales team, and they'll be able to give you a bit more details on all the package details, how much it costs, and they'll be able to give you a demo of the tool too, so you can see exactly how it works and run through some of the messages even, so you can see like what kind of um what kind of conversations the tool is having with leads. Okay, we a couple minutes over. Anything last minute? Which level of the My Mind do you use? I've paid for the full shebang, mastermind plan, I believe it's called. It's like $120 a year, but uh, I use it every day. It's a frictionless tool for me. It's something that um, I use every single day. I'm happy to pay the price. For something that you use every day, I feel like if it's worth paying for, just go ahead and do it. And Shari, so you're saying AI lead nurture is better than Google Ads? No, it's the second part of the equation. So if you're using Google Ads to get leads in and get leads into your pipeline, AI lead nurture then takes the lead and starts having a conversation with it. So for you, it basically is a time saving element where it's like you don't have to now start having a conversation with that lead or spend time trying to figure out, is this a real lead? are they actually looking for something? The AI is doing that for you. So you know that leads come in, but you don't have to do anything. You can sit back and just have the reassurance that the conversation and the lead is being nurtured. And it might take, a couple weeks or a month or however long it takes for that lead to get to a point where they're ready to have a conversation with you or a member of your team. And when that lead's ready, it'll notify you and you can jump in and do your thing. All right, guys. Um, I think that's time. I'm gonna follow up with an email. I'm gonna send a internal deck on how to use Midjourney. I think that little presentation for Midjourney is really beneficial for you guys. Have a little read through, have a little play around with it. I think it's a really cool tool. We have a bunch of AI-based blog articles that we've just published, one with a bunch of other tools. I'm gonna link them all in the email for you too. Like they're short articles, very beneficial. I think you should give them a read. And then if you wanna learn more about AI lead nurture or any of the AI tools that are coming out, just reach out to us and we'll connect you to the right people so you can make sure that you are armed and ready to take on 2024. All right, guys. Thank you, and hope you have a good rest of your week. And I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.
The sun is climbing slowly. I hold these moments closely, closely now. These waves hit a little harder. I know they're gonna carry me somewhere. Step into the open wide. Watch the future come alive. This is our time.